that just tells you everything that we've been telling you. This is just confirmation. And what's hilarious is this is confirmation from the people that want to pay the money. Sponsors. Oh man, Angel Reese fans are gonna be pissed.
Though not in the way that companies would like, Angel Reese is generating headlines. Sponsors are tactfully withdrawing rather than throwing a lavish party. Additionally, there are concerns that the deal may already be in jeopardy because her trademark Reebok shoe is scheduled for release in 2026.
Here. I thought Angel Reese was a big deal. I thought she was a box office draw. According to her pretend friends in the mainstream media, Angel Reese is a huge star.
The difficulties Angel Reese has had with layups have become nearly hilarious. She made a simple putback into a viral blooper in one game, missing multiple times in a row, not just once. The videos went viral more quickly than a celebrity scandal, but for all the wrong reasons, while pundits were at a loss for tactful ways to explain the carnage.
We have commentators laughing at this.
Washington has done that incredibly well so far. Reese missed the first one, still with it, blocked.
They realized that they were laughing and then quickly stopped themselves like, oh, I can't laugh. I'm live right now. I can't laugh. I'm live right now. Let me let me get real serious real quick. Angel, come on, man.
Reese's field goal percentage this season is 44.4%, which, when you consider that the majority of her tries originate right under the basket, sounds admirable. For comparison, layup conversion rates for professional basketball players are usually close to 70 to 80%. Analysts are referring to this phenomenon as the Angel Reese effect, which makes easy shoots hard, since Reese has somehow managed to make the most basic basketball shot into a coin flip.
This was an epic embarrassment, bro. Remember, this is a pro basketball player. Won a national championship. Their calling card they'd like to hang over is she beat Caitlin Clark. Remember that. Watch this.
Cardoso with the miss. Angel Reese picks it up, what she's good at. Getting another offensive rebound. She says, give me that. How about another? Persistence trying to pay off. Jones gets a piece. Angel Reese won't give up. Jones with another block.
Are you serious, guys? Look at this. Look at this.
In what she obviously believed to be a brilliant marketing move, Angel Reese carefully arranged to reveal her Reebok sneaker at the All-Star game. She had everything planned out. Indianapolis would serve as the backdrop. Angel would steal the show with her debut in trademark footwear, while Caitlin Clark, as co-captain, would bring enormous crowds. She was expected to take advantage of what everyone refers to as the Caitlin Clark effect.
Angel Reese 100% has benefited from attaching herself to Caitlin Clark at every single turn. She used Caitlin Clark as promo. Now with Reebok, she's using. This is nonstop. She has attached herself to Caitlin Clark at every single turn, and she has benefited.
Rather, it was a masterwork of mistimed events that would make Murphy's Rule seem like a mild exaggeration. Days before the All-Star celebrations, on July 15th, Caitlin Clark sustained a right groin injury. Clark's injury prevented her from competing in the main event, as well as the three-point competition. Reese was relying on the very showcase to increase the visibility of her shoes.
Shaq and Allen Iverson are going to go and do what they can to promote their player. Like, even still here, like, you had the Angel Reese saying that she was, taking over Indiana, and there's about 15 fans there. And more than wearing Caitlin Clark merch than her merch. She pulls up with about 15 fans, and I'm like, take over, Angel, take over. This is her city now. And I'm like, and she's never won a game in Indiana.
If you find this entertaining, please subscribe. You could cut the irony with a knife because it is so thick. After putting a lot of effort into trying to establish herself as Clark's equal or better, Angel Reese found herself in dire need of Clark's celebrity status in order to make her own moment count. The All-Star game lost its main attraction without Clark on the court, and Angel's carefully thought-out marketing strategy also vanished. The story was revealed by the viewership figures. When Clark wasn't performing, The audience became considerably less involved, and Angel's shoe premiere didn't go as planned in front of a much smaller audience.
Take over your trap. I mean, who's she talking about right there? Because Clark takes over every single trap she goes to. In fact, they gotta expand the trap so she can take over more real estate. Every single place she goes to. I mean, there is zero argument to possibly be made that she isn't the biggest attraction, the one that brings the most attention, whatever. It's not even worth talking about.
It appears that the gods of basketball have a sense of humor. Angel Reese, who had been outspoken about her own star power and capacity to attract large audiences, suddenly realized that she had been depending on the presence of her alleged competitors to validate her own brand. Instead of serving as her coronation, the All-Star Game served as a sobering reminder of how crucial Caitlin Clark is to the WNBA's success and her personal marketing prospects. Angel is now furious, and according to those familiar with the matter, she is blaming Clark for having the gall to get hurt at the most inconvenient moment. For someone who spent months organizing this moment and working with Reebok's marketing team to guarantee maximum visibility at what ought to have been the league's most watched event, the timing couldn't have been worse.
Sponsors assured him Clark coming to his organization would rake in cash hand over fist. But, quote, they didn't tell us the same thing about Angel Reese. She's not the draw, folks. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Quote, I don't know if we can make that same offer. Cube initially sent the offer Clark's way when she was an Iowa Hawkeye.
However, the bad luck didn't end there. Angel's body chose to join the plot against her well-thought-out preparations. She missed 4 of the past 5 Sky Games due to a back injury that has kept her out of action for several games. Although the injury has been termed as day-to-day, Angel was forced to watch from the sidelines as her squad continued their incredible downward spiral because there was no clear timeline for her return. Meanwhile, the Chicago Sky have been entertaining with their own unique style. If you want to see basketball teams come up with inventive methods to lose games, you'll love this. Angel's injury absence timed nicely with the Sky's 8-game losing streak, which has left them with a miserable 8-21 record. While their star player tends to her injured back and her damaged dignity, the squad has managed to lose games left and right. This whole affair has turned into an epic public relations nightmare for Reebok. Imagine yourself as a brand executive, aware that the league's commentators are openly mocking at your signature athlete's performance as she misses layups while wearing your shoes. The business that used to rule basketball is now linked to a player who has come to represent lost chances. In a literal sense,
boy, to get popped by 40 at home. Now I'm seeing the Sky fans. It's some Sky fans going to Angel Reese. Sky fans is going to Angel Reese. And I didn't even think about this. Okay, so Angel Reese, you sat out the game before the All-Star game. Then you played in the All-Star game. Then you played one game and said, okay, your back is hurting. Now you're not playing again. I don't know. Look, the Sky fans is bringing it up, not me. They bringing it up. Look. Don't get mad at me.
Angel Reese became the star of Reebok's basketball rebirth after the company's basketball division, led by Shaquille O'Neal, signed her as a marquee signing. They made significant investments in her brand, designing a whole trademark shoe line around her demeanor and playing style, as well as the Reebok by Angel collection. However, basic basketball incompetence cannot be overcome by personality or style. And the world has been seeing precisely that. Instead of being a celebration of athletic accomplishment and brand synergy, the launch of the trademark sneaker turned into a case study of how easily things can go wrong. The Angel Reese One's diamond dust hue was intended to symbolize both roughness and beauty, perfectly capturing her dual personality as sportsman and cultural figure. Rather, it has come to represent poor timing and mistake. Insiders in the industry are already wondering if Reebok is reconsidering their investment. The return on investment begins to appear dubious when your star player is receiving more attention for missing shots than for making them, and when her team is giving nightly demonstrations of how not to play professional basketball. The circumstance is made even more agonizing for Angel and Reebok by the analogy to Caitlin Clark's path. Clark has been setting records and generating previously unheard-of increases in women's basketball income and viewership, while Angel has been shooting me in the face and watching her team fail.
Great ideas, wants to bring in talent to grow Reebok and have people wear it again because no one does. So one of his genius decisions was this. Fucking signing her, Angel Reese. If you don't know who she is, she's the queen of fish out of water going after a rebound that she shot herself and can't get in the net ever. She reminds me of a 3-year-old shooting on those little kids' nets and throwing the ball and just completely missing the mark.
The shoe transaction is not the only financial ramification. Being the next big star in basketball was the foundation of Angel's entire brand strategy. Someone with a strong personality who could attract attention and increase sales. However, personality without action is meaningless. Furthermore, noise doesn't fill stadia or move merchandise in professional sports. Her injuries couldn't have come at a worse time for keeping up the pace. Angel was reduced to street attire and onlooker scrutiny at a time when the WNBA was experiencing previously unheard-of levels of attention and viewership. Her absence amid the team's dismal run has only served to emphasize how difficult it is for them to function without her. However, it has also highlighted the drawbacks of establishing a brand around someone whose on-court output is still erratic. This sequence of events is a perfect storm of frustration for Angel personally. As someone who could produce comparable levels of excitement and commercial interest, she had established herself as Clark's equal. Her proving point, the opportunity to demonstrate her marketability on the biggest stage, was to be the All-Star Game. Instead, she had a well-thought-out marketing campaign in her hands, but no stage on which to execute it.
The Fever have whooped the Sky basically every time they've played them. And did everybody forget about Barbie Night last year, where Clark and the Fever went in there and she was signing pink towels and stuff? And
seeing well-laid plans fall apart because of events beyond her control has obviously had a negative psychological impact. According to sources, Angel's disappointment following the All-Star Game has been growing, and her injury has just made it worse. According to reports, she has been outspoken about how she feels Clark's injury destroyed everything, as though the basketball gods planned to wreck her moment. What this entire circumstance shows about Angel's strategic thinking, however, may be its most telling feature. It says a lot about the true nature of their purported rivalry that she was depending on Caitlin Clark's presence to increase her own exposure. It implies that even with all of the public bluster about their equality, Angel recognized that her personal success depended on Clark's star power. There are now concerns regarding the due diligence procedure used by the Reebok executives who approved this transaction. When an athlete's signature ability seems to be missing easy shots, how do you invest in them? How do you create a brand around someone whose team isn't able to win games on a regular basis? These are discussions that take place in business boardrooms, and no athlete wants to be the focus of such discussions. Aspirational marketing is the foundation of the signature shoe industry. Because they aspire to play like their heroes, fans purchase sneakers. What occurs then if your hero is more famous for missing shots than for making them? When your trademark athlete provides lowlight reels rather than highlight reels, what message does that convey to young players?
There's a dude on the internet who cracks me up. On TikTok, he's put together a load of Angel Reese clips, and it'll say Angel Reese part 36. And it goes, Angel Reese going up for another layup. She misses, bang! And I mean, dude, it's the funniest. And my whole thing is this, dude. She just seems as uncoordinated as a baby giraffe. Yeah, I mean, come on, man.
Angel's predicament has turned into a warning about how crucial it is for performance to support personality. It's easy to overlook the essential necessity in a time when athlete brands are placing a rising amount of emphasis on social media presence and cultural impact. You must still be proficient at your sport. Missed layups on national television cannot be made up for by all the fashion moments, podcast appearances, and smart marketing efforts in the world. The Chicago Sky's ongoing difficulties without her have also prompted concerns about her true influence on the team's performance. Even if she leads a number of statistical categories, her team's record indicates that winning basketball isn't always correlated with individual numbers. These team outcomes present a narrative challenge that is challenging to overcome for a brand that wants to portray her as a leader and a winner.
So bad that when Caitlin Clark and her were supposed to face off against each other the other week, the ticket sales went down from $100 to like $5 because Caitlin Clark got injured. She had a quad injury, so she wasn't playing. So guess what? No one wanted to go watch. And if you don't know Caitlin Clark, she's pretty much the GOAT of the WNBA and is the reason why people are watching. No one watches you, Angel Reese. No one watches you. The only thing that I enjoy watching is all the clips on TikTok of you just countlessly just missing every shot that you take.
There are also important wider ramifications for women's basketball. Due in great part to captivating personalities and improved play quality, the sport has seen unheard of development. However, prominent players' problems might undermine such progress, thereby reiterating unfavorable perceptions about women's basketball that the sport has been trying to dispel. The future of Reebok is uncertain. Do they increase their investment in the hopes that Angel can overcome her present setbacks and reach her full potential? Or do they discreetly disassociate themselves from a relationship that has turned into a liability rather than an asset? The choice will probably be based on whether they think her present difficulties are a result of short-term setbacks or a sign of more serious restrictions. The 2026 shoe launch now bears more significance than just its financial success. It will act as a referendum on Angel Reese's ability to change from a player who frequently misses shots to one deserving of signature shoes. More than just a fashion statement, the diamond dust coloring must symbolize a metamorphosis. The next stage of Angel's career and her relationship with Reebok will be determined by how she handles this challenge. Will she be able to harness this frustration to elevate her game and defend Reebok's belief in her? Or will she continue to be caught up in a pattern of both real and imagined possibilities lost?
You know, in the past, when I said things like Angel Reese is not a good basketball player, I think I spoke too soon. At this point, I've come to realize that Angel Reese, the self-appointed most important player in the WNBA, is not a bad player. She may be the worst player, at least whose name we act.
What's ironic is that she got everything she said she wanted. A national platform, a signature shoe brand, and a significant endorsement agreement. The thing she couldn't control, however, was the one thing she needed most. Caitlin Clark's well-being and availability at the precise moment she had meticulously planned. It serves as a reminder that, just as in life, even the best-laid plans can be derailed by circumstances beyond your control in sports. One must question whether Angel Reese has learned the lesson that ought to have been clear from the start as she sits on the sidelines tending to her back ailment and seeing her meticulously orchestrated brand moment turn into a warning. The star power of others cannot be used to create long-term success. Moments are made by real stars. Their relevance is independent of their competitors.